Yeah, we operate 600 locations worldwide, 38 countries, with about 500,000 members. These are companies from a one-person startup to companies with thousands of employees. So we benefit from all those kind of aggregated insights and conversations. And then there are new customers we talk to every day. The reality is, I think the difference between today and 10 years ago or pre-COVID is companies would say, hey, I've got this many employees, therefore we need this amount of square footage and we're going to be in the office 5 days a week. Those metrics to decipher how much space you need no longer apply, right? So there's a whole new way of understanding how much space you need. And the reality is that's based on your company type, but it takes a ton of effort to figure out how you get to the right composition of hybrid work. The key theme for us, I think, as you kind of note, is the formalization of hybrid working. So if you were to roll back a couple of years ago, employers were offering this menu of, hey, you could work in our beautiful office that we spent millions of dollars on, or you can work remotely. Now we're seeing this shift to say, actually, we want you back in the office for at least X amount of days per week.
I want to talk about WeWork because it was like a comet. It lit up the sky. It was so blazing, it was so bright. But then there was a crash and burn moment around bankruptcy, since it emerged from bankruptcy. What does the future look like for the company that seems to have de-risked a lot from where it was at?
Yeah. Well, look, we're almost a year to the day since we emerged from our restructuring. The company is in phenomenal health financially and in terms of its growth prospects. We're a debt-free, privately held company. And the complexity of the world today means that we're as relevant as we've ever been, right? To your point, how do we consume office space? How do we bring people together? How do we ensure that we create culture and identity in person? We spend a lot of time having those conversations, and we're doing it more today with a bigger breadth of companies than we've ever done before.
How important is flexible space for companies right here and now? Because we've got this AI disruption where companies are saying, look, do we need more autonomous workers rather than real workers, as well as the tariff, the macro uncertainty, immigration policy. Does that mean a lot more employers are thinking about flexible workspace so they have lower cost spaces at this stage?
Yeah, look, I mean, all the things you talked about there do the same thing I kind of referenced at the beginning, which is how do I forecast headcount? It's okay today to say I don't know how big my company is going to be, in a year's time or 3 years' time or 5 years' time. That's fine, right? The world is changing. The political and economic background is ever changing. It creates complexity in the way you work. And companies are growing. So you look at AI companies, their headcounts are exponentially growing. So what we do is we provide that service for companies. We're an outsourced partner to reduce complexity and deliver simplicity as it relates to providing workspace.